384 BCE in Stagira, Greece, Aristotle was born. He grew up to be one of the world's greatest thinkers. Aristotle lost both of his parents at age 10, and his uncle took him in and became his guardian. At the age of 17, his guardian sent him to Athens, where he joined the academy created by Plato. He became an exemplary scholar with a good relationship with his teacher. For 20 years, Aristotle was a teacher at the academy. Once Plato died, Aristotle left for Lesbos and created his own school called Lyceum. There he met his wife and had a daughter named Pythias. Aristotle wrote about the ethics of reason. He believed that with the right tools and knowledge, humans can be successful. He wrote that everyone has a purpose to be happy, and the control of virtue and rationality are key. Both of these revolve around happiness, which is our human goal. Logic, science, desires, and emotions will accomplish our human purpose. Aristotle believed that human nature will get humans to their purpose because humans have the natural urge to find out the truth and understand their needs and wants. Virtue is a trait that describes us that is in between two extreme vices, meaning that it is the perfect amount of a certain characteristic. It impacts our human nature by virtues being the reason that humans are successful and why they feel certain ways. It affects their values in life, how they work towards a goal, and overall help the human build character. A vice is an extreme trait that is dangerous. If you have a vice, then you have too much or too little of a virtue. For example, if you have too much courage, then you are rash, but if you have too little, then you are a coward. Virtue can make humans happy because since it makes the life easier for a human, it makes humans happier and also shapes them to be a better version of themselves. Virtue helps us to make our own decisions and think carefully about them. Virtue also connects to how a friendship can make us happy. The best form of friendship is a virtuous one, and because virtues help us feel for one another, friendship is key to happiness. Happiness is important to human nature because it is the goal that all humans want to achieve at the end of their life. It shows how much potential humans have and how things can be accomplished. All the decisions humans make revolve around their happiness and pleasure. Friendship is also a part of our human nature because it makes us happy. Aristotle created 4 different types of human characters. Number 1, the continent person, is someone who has to work to do what is right. They make the actions of a virtuous person, but they have flaws that stop them and cause them to struggle. Number 2, the incontinent person, is someone who is vulnerable, so they do the bad because they believe it is easier. Their mind thinks about the desire they have for an emotion and makes the decision off of them. Number 3, the virtuous person, is someone who naturally does good. They are selfless and do the things of the well-being of others. They have the right virtues that Aristotle believes we should all strive to have. Number 4, the vicious person, is someone who does no good at all and is evil. All of their decisions are driven by extreme vices, and they only help themselves. They are full of self-hatred and are never satisfied, which leads them to continue making bad choices. Meaning, when we do something virtuous and benefits the happiness of others, which makes us happy. For example, Lola was walking around her neighborhood. 5 minutes into her walk, she noticed a German Shepherd wandering with the collar that seemed to be choking him. Her first instinct was to run to it and help the dog, but Lola was not sure how the dog behaved, so she ran home to get a leash and a bag of treats. When she came back, she gave the dog a treat, and it turned out to be friendly. She gave him more treats, and while he was distracted, she adjusted his collar and put the leash on him. She walked the German Shepherd around her neighborhood to see if anyone would recognize whose dog it was. 20 minutes passed, and no one had claimed the dog, nor knew who it belonged to. As she continued to walk down the street, a little boy yelled, "Dad, it's Oso!" The little boy and his dad went up to Lola and thanked her very much, for their dog had been missing for days, and they had been worried sick. Lola returned to the little boy and his dad, and they went walking happily. A quote by Aristotle that stood out to me was, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." I learned that in order to be a virtuous person, you must have happiness, correct virtues, virtuous friendships, and know how to act morally. This will get people a happy and life full of success, which is what I would like to have.